Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the pilot episode of the No Motive Podcast, where we talk about basically anything and everything that's pertaining to modern day situations, video games, and the like. Basically, whatever the hell we feel like. Yeah, this is what you're subscribed to. Since this is our pilot episode, we tried recording this once before, and then somewhere along the way, I guess I was transferring it over to another hard drive and it got corrupted. So we're gonna reintroduce ourselves, starting with Chrono.
Whoa, hold on. We didn't decide on an order for all of this. Hey, I'm Chrono. Wow. I stream, I play PSO2, I play tons of Final Fantasy 14. I'm a huge anime nerd. Basically anything that has anything to do with anime, video games, tech in general.
Hi, I'm Slap. I also stream and play a lot of Final Fantasy 14. Am into anime, JRPGs, and all that. But yeah, what you get, dude? I'm as interesting as they come. What do you want?
Yeah.
Oh, also, I'm recently addicted to this Bing Bong shit. Have you seen the Street Talk? We'll talk about it later.
Left field. We totally were like, what are we going to talk about? Now, out of nowhere, Slap just says something else. All right.
Dude, I love TikTok memes, okay?
Fear, introduce yourself, homie.
Yeah, so I'm Fear. I also like video games and anime. I don't stream, but yeah. Just a guy.
Yep. And I'm Mark, Kaoiji, depending on what platform you guys are listening to this on. For the most part, I also play video games. I play a variety of them, JRPGs, MMOs, the like. I don't know. I just like what I like. That's really how it goes. We suck at the introducing ourselves part.
Absolutely.
But it's because every single one of us is really bad at talking about ourselves.
True.
Yes.
Absolutely fucking true, bro. But you were talking about TikTok memes?
Yeah, dude,
let's go
I
there.
love TikTok memes, okay?
Like,
Every single day for an undetermined amount of time, I've got various sounds from TikTok just blaring in my skull, okay? And like, I don't hear a voice in my head per se, right? So like, I have ADHD, so when I am having that inner monologue, it's more like a teleprompter, right? And I want you to imagine the longest run-on sentence on the face of the planet just constantly going, but it's full of TikTok memes. Like the amount of times I said Bing Bong in my head in the past 15 minutes alone, unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. Sounds, earworms, nonstop, dude. Nonstop. Am I the only one, dude? I love TikTok.
Nah,
see,
dude.
they pulled TikTok stuff into like I'm an old man. They pulled TikTok stuff into Facebook. Yeah, I know, that dead platform that no one uses. Yeah, occasionally I still go to it. And like they have this whole like, it's basically just it's Facebook's TikTok. Like it's not anything new or different. It's the same format. People just they bring them over from there. And as much as I hate the format for it, it's genius because I know I personally have lost hours to just flicking through funny stuff, things I thought were hilarious, different like tags and stuff like that. And I'm like, why am I here? Like, I just look over and it's like 45 minutes is gone. I'm like, what am I have things to do. I got to put this down. And then I'll be like, oh, why am I just not on TikTok? And then I'll open TikTok and I'll lose like 35, 45 minutes. I'm like,
That's
I hate it here.
That's what my girlfriend does, dude. I'll literally, so I'll stream and I take breaks every 2 hours. She'll be like, oh, I sent you a bunch of TikToks. Now, when she says a bunch of TikToks as a unit of measure, she means somewhere between 50 to 99. And it's everything from like cat videos to wipeouts, like someone eating shit, or like various, oh, these sounds are great. This is the sound I was talking about yesterday. So she'll just keep going down that route. But dude, Jesus Christ. Oh, good heavens. Like I keep hearing that one in my head. It's just, it's great. I love it.
Bro, so
I love it.
There was this TikTok meme a while back where this guy got literally punched the hell out, and he's like, "Oh, that brother's gone." Like, they redid it recently, and it's been trending again. It was like, "That brother's floating in the air. How does his hands do that? Oh, that brother's gone." And like, it's the greatest memes ever, bro. And I'm sitting down. I'm like, I can't believe I have not thought of this before. Like, these people are geniuses on TikTok. That's just how it goes.
So you're telling us we need like an actual like just message group between all of us to just spam each other with TikTok memes for the rest of the day.
Yeah, dude.
That's what it sounds like we're gonna probably do after this.
Oh yeah, dude. Short form TikTok content is like the way of the future. I don't care what anybody says.
No, absolutely,
like,
man.
I could deliver you a giggle in like 30 seconds to 2 minutes. And if you're anything like me, you'll think about it hours later.
Yeah.
Doing dishes. You'll drop a fork, bing bong, fuck your life, and then you just move on with your life. And you're just, okay, this is great.
And the shit is, bro, is that bing bong shit started because that's the most iconic sound when you go to New York with the trains. Bing bong. That's how that they just took that and turned it into a fucking meme, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
like-
see, it was that what's it's called Side Talk NYC. I don't know if you've watched these guys at all on YouTube or TikTok, but bro, I'll sit here with people that have never been to New York City, and it shows. Like they'll just like, is that really how people are? It's like, you ever been to a block party? They go, what's a block party? And I know I've already set the bar. Like the conversation has to start here. And she's like, is that the fire hydrant cracked? I was like, yeah, you never did that. So I forget you didn't grow up in the city. So it's like, yeah, we didn't have water parks. We had community pools that were way too gross to swim in or anything like that. So what do? Someone's family who had a big ass wrench cracked the fire hydrant, and we played in that shit. We waited for Mr. Ding-a-ling to come around the corner, buy an ice cream, and get back into the water. Like, that's all we did. She's like, is people really like that? Like, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. All they're missing is the abnormally large Uncle Rico dude who's sitting on the bench with no shirt on, just vibing. We need
Playing
that guy.
dominoes, bro.
He's the one that's missing. Where are the Cubans and the Dominicans screaming copy cool at the top of their lungs? Like, there's a lot of stuff about New York City that they show in these videos that people are like, nah, they're not really like that.
They're really like that.
Yeah, they are.
That's not staged. That is exactly.
You can literally
how it
go
is.
like at 7:00 at night. You'll see like the bands playing on the side and like right across the street from like what is it, Battery Park or whatever the fuck. And then you just see people dancing in the middle of the street on the sidewalk just because a band is playing there. That's it. That's the whole reason. New York's crazy, man, but it's great.
It's not every day, but yeah, it's pretty lively. I love it too because they show just how funny, wild, and obnoxious it is. And it's like no punches pulled. Their content makes me laugh so goddamn hard. I miss it though. At the end of the day,
that was probably my favorite part about New York was that it was just random. There was no setup. It was just, what are we doing today? Go outside and it just things happen. That was it.
Every day is a different day, man.
Every single day, man.
Can't go back. Like, you go to New York, you go to the same places, but every time you go to the same places,
something different.
It is a brand new experience, bro.
Every time.
It's the same type of shit. It's a different person every day doing it.
There's always someone, dude.
You sit down and you're like, who the fuck?
God, you said crack open the fire hydrant. That took me way back, dude. I'm originally from New York, so that took me way back. Oh.
Byron's car wash.
Oh man,
this shit got me. It's the Coney Island Ski Club. Watch that video, dude. This shit is so funny.
I'll have to check it out for sure.
I should watch that one. I've heard about it, but I haven't.
The Coney Island Ski Club. He's like, who's your president? Joe Byron. Who? Byron. Who? Byron.
That's good.
Oh man. You know, it's what's crazy though is because of TikTok, the actual president Biden, he responded to that TikTok.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I had not seen that.
And
What
he
the
goes,
fuck?
if I wasn't who I was, I would take you out to dinner.
That's fantastic. That's so
Say
good.
one thing to Byron right now. What would it be? Sup, baby? Take me to dinner.
Hey, yo.
Oh my god. Okay. Wow.
It's crazy.
These are quality, bro. I love it.
I think about it like some of the TikTok memes, they're still trending, but they began at like the beginning of last year being 2021, like the berries and cream shit. Berries and cream. Like, how the
They live
hell
rent free in your
is-
hair, dude. They live rent free in your head. That's the thing is like Slap said, like the short form, like the delivery for TikTok stuff, like you can't really miss it. Even if you don't want to watch most of these things, like you're in for a second, you're like, all right, well, it's only gonna be like 5, 10, maybe 15 seconds. Let me just see where this goes. And like that's it, you're done. Like you get through the whole video. Like all of us here like watch YouTube. Obviously, everyone, I'm sure listeners watch YouTube. You wait, 3, 4, 5 minutes into a video. If it doesn't hook you by then, you're done. With TikTok, you're already finished on to the next one. So like it's over. It doesn't matter what happened. Like it's gonna pull you in regardless.
I'm just trying to find my way into like another TikTok trend, like just randomly. I'll be on anime talk for a little bit, and then suddenly it becomes thirst traps, and I'm like, okay, and then suddenly it'll go immediately back to like comic book shit. Like as soon as I watched Spider-Man the other day, my entire TikTok was just filled with Spider-Man theories. People talk about Spider-Man, and I'm like, oh, is this what's happening now? I spent 3 hours just scrolling through random people talking about fucking Spider-Man, bro.
It's so good. So good. I'm not gonna talk about it. It's so good.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Absolutely.
I'm glad I didn't let anyone spoil that, but I might have gotten sick because I went. So there's that. So
yeah.
And I say, was it worth it? And I say, yes. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
The movie's worth it. Definitely.
I haven't seen it yet because I can't take like Heather. I want to take Heather to go see it, but we're just waiting.
Don't let anyone spoil it for you.
Yeah,
just go.
That's what I'm gonna
We
be
dodge them.
just keep dodging spoilers, man. I went and I sat down and watched it. I was like, I am so glad I ignored everyone, and I'm so glad I went to watch this immediately because, man, it's good.
Just
it's
keep playing basketball, bro. Just keep like, you can't catch me, bro. Oh man!
If anyone's scared, we're not going to talk about Spider-Man spoilers. So.
Yeah, then
no,
you're safe. You're safe.
Wait
Don't
till
worry.
it comes out on like Blu-ray or some shit. Then
yeah, we'll talk about it way down.
Spoil the hell out of it.
That just means I got some Spider-Man to watch because I'm not caught up.
You should watch it, including the older ones, man. You should definitely watch those.
All of them are really good. All of them are really good. I would watch everything. Like some better than others, but like you appreciate the really good ones by seeing everything. So
I realized that I was doing my wife a disservice because she started watching all the Marvel movies with me, but she never watched the original Spider-Man movies with Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire. So when we go watch, so when we go watch the new Spider-Man movie, she's lost as fuck. She goes, "Who's that?"
All the bad guys that are showing up and everything. Yeah, like
who's that?
It's a very different vibe. It's a very different vibe when you don't know those characters. So
she enjoyed the movie, like in and of itself. By itself, it's still a good movie, but it was just like I felt bad. So gonna go see this. She knows nothing of what the fuck's going on, man.
Dude, I can feel the listeners sweat right now. They're like, "Don't say anything specific, please."
Yeah.
I can viscerally feel the sweat. I'm just like, I'm not gonna say anything. Don't worry.
Yeah,
you guys are
good.
But
Free's coming back.
Wait, what is that?
Free, the swimming anime.
Oh,
swimming anime. Wait, what?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Let's check my list. Let me check my list of anime. Let's see, what do we got? I'm still freaking out over Bleach. I will never stop freaking out over Bleach.
Ronin Kenshin's coming back too. They're remastering that.
So far on the winter list at the moment, we've got what was it? World's Strongest. That's what from like something to World's Strongest. Can't remember the name of it.
Also, speaking of random shit, while we're on the topic of anime, I can't believe Solo Leveling's over.
Oh, yeah, 100 and
read that.
It's
170 something chapters, right?
Yeah,
they can bring it to an anime now, so I don't have to read because
179 chapters. Yes, ended with 179 chapters. I started reading it, so now I have an endpoint.
I might have to read it, like legitimately, because
it's good, man.
It's very much like my type of anime. That's why I need to start. I need to read it. I really do. Well, it's my type of just whatever in general. It's not an anime, obviously.
Yeah, they did confirm an anime. But it's just a matter of like
when.
Yeah, it's just a matter of when.
To make the worst face of all time.
There's a few that I'm like really looking forward to. That I like completely blocked out of my memory for a little bit. Like Shield Hero, that April. That's coming back in April.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You guys watching Demon Slayer? Because like you'd think that eventually it would kind of like weigh on you, like all the hype behind it. No, it's still good. It's still pretty solid.
Yeah, I think I haven't seen the last episode.
We gotta catch up on it. I've adopted the whole like let the season play thing because I haven't been talking with people about anime each week. So I've been letting the seasons play, and now I'm due for a binge of Demon Slayer.
Okay.
I just embody anime, so I can't not talk about anime. So like, I mean, the meme is main character, so like I can't not talk about anime ever. So like I have to watch things, or else people accidentally spoil for me. They don't mean to, and I'm just like I can't live that life. Ever since I got spoiled on, no one here is like watching Boruto or cares, right? I'm guessing.
I mean, I dabble in it. It's not my favorite though. Like I really don't like any of
Yeah,
them.
I think I've already been spoiled on what you might mention. So
yeah, I got spoiled on the whole like Naruto plot point that happens if I kind of don't want to spoil for people if they haven't seen it, like if they're still catching up or whatever. But it's like a major plot point of like 12 years of history when it comes from all the way from the beginning of Naruto. They spoiled me on that on Boruto with like a thumbnail on YouTube. I was pissed. I was so pissed, dude. I was so freaking mad.
Dude.
Like I was mad for at least a solid 2 weeks. Like that's imagine Endwalker spoiled for you from 14 from a thumbnail.
Oh yeah.
Like the major plot point of Endwalker. Imagine that spoiled from a thumbnail. Like
I mean,
that is the level of like upset that I was.
That was kind of similar to what happened to me. Somebody had accidentally spoiled EX2 for me.
Okay.
Not the entire fight, but like who we were fighting in EX2, and I was like, oh, god damn it.
Yeah,
it wasn't terrible, but it was still like, oh, I kind of wanted to experience that, like that oh shit moment, you know?
This month, the fan-placed embargo for Endwalker releases.
Gotcha. So we'll probably talk about that next time, I guess.
Believe so, yeah.
Although,
I guess
speaking of random anime and shit, like I'm my apologies, Chainsaw Man.
Oh, I saw the trailer for that. Looks really.
Yeah, that's good.
Don't know anything about it. Tell me about it.
Chainsaw Man is literally exactly what it sounds like. It's a guy with a chainsaw head. Dope as hell.
It seems weird. Don't get me wrong. I had the same look on my face when they were like, Chainsaw Man's really good. I was like, okay. They're like, yeah, Chainsaw Head, dude. And I'm like, it's the animation. It looks absolutely incredible.
Yeah, so basically imagine this guy who just wants to like literally have a peaceful life. Like that's it. And then suddenly he's thrown into this whole shit where now he's killing demons because the Yakuza is forcing him to pay off his debts. Like
wait,
it's from Mappa. Oh,
can we take a minute to appreciate how many like decent anime are just it's a guy that just wants to live his life and like someone just comes and fucks it all up. Why is it every time there's a character that just wants to be chill? Like I resonate with that. I just want to live my life. I just want to be, and someone just comes flying right on in and screws everything up. I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like let the man live. I only say that because I just finished watching Banished from the Heroes Party. Like while I was sick, I just binged the whole thing, and I'm like, dude just wants to open a apothecary. Like he just wants to be a regular dude that just gathers herbs or whatever. But no, he can't just be a regular guy. I'm assuming you're watching the trailer right now, Slap.
Yeah, I posted it in the chat. It's the animation. It's Mappa.
It's the animation. Dude. It's like that reaction was just so perfect. Like, in the middle of the sentence, just like exactly.
Although another anime that's coming out this year is Bofuri season 2. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. Literally, this one person in this anime, I'm just gonna max out my defense. I don't want to get hurt. Everyone hates her. Why? No.
Well, see,
I want to be
Bofuri is so good, though. I love it.
See, as your quintessential, I want to have all in attack. In that being that guy, I could see why everyone hates the person that wants to go all in on defense. But like, also like the main character, like she's broken. She found a way to use the defense for offense. She's busted, and I'm cool. I'm with it. All right.
Accidentally becomes meta. It's crazy.
Becomes hyper meta.
The best part of that is she's just randomly just going around doing whatever she wants and just is like, oops, I'm broken now.
She finds a side quest in a town, does it. Now she's got fucking angel ability. Great, cool. I love it. She's like, she's the reason.
Takes no damage from being poisoned, learns how to then spit poison.
Yeah, this is the thing is it's and the people who do follow the channel, like follow my channel, things like that, they'll like I always get like on people about playing off meta or whatever, right? I don't get mad at someone for playing off meta or anything along those lines. This anime kind of fits to this. It's when you play off meta and then tell everyone it's the right choice. That's what I actually like about this character. She just decided that she wanted to be this way because she didn't want to deal with something specifically, and it works for her. She's not telling everyone else to go play like full defense. She's not being like, this is the best choice and you guys are dumb for doing the other thing. She just found her niche and is going with it. Like that's it. That's cool if you want to do that. I'm with that all the way. But like Also, you guys aren't anime main characters that are broken as hell, so it's not gonna work for you. And basically, I'm gonna play circles around you.
Well,
I'm gonna turn into the protagonist real quick, or the antagonist real quick.
the
He just
devs
doesn't
even
move.
patched the way that you could do that, so no one in that game or in that world can do that anymore.
Perfect.
You can't just sleep for an hour and get attacked and get all these abilities that made her broken, but she just keeps finding other random side quests. It's like, oh, now I'm, an angel and stuff like that. And it's
I
like,
have a giant flying turtle.
And that's because of how she's exploiting her own abilities. It's fantastic.
yeah,
But I do like though that everything about that as like it's kind of not really an isekai, but it's like conceptually an isekai because she's teleporting herself to another world.
It's
But like
it's on the level, like it's very
but the in-game devs are like, fuck. Every time they have to talk about her, I like that part of the story. You know what I mean? It's not just like a patch note. They're just like, okay, what'd she do this time? And they're like, well, you see, she stood on top of a building and got hit by all of and she didn't take any damage.
She's anime blue mage. She's ultimate. She's ultimate anime blue mage. That's what she is. She's just taking all the hits, learning all these abilities, and just smashing everything else because of it.
Created a brand new enemy just for her. Still beat it. What? The enemy was unkillable. What do you mean? She absorbed it.
She ate it.
She ate the enemy. Oh my god.
She technically didn't kill it. She ate it. It's like that time I got reincarnated as a slime. I'm just absorbing this. It's fine.
So,
it's no big deal.
I might be this person in our podcast. I might be the isekai trash watcher, and I'm totally cool with that.
No, I love isekais.
As
much as I hate them, I equally love them.
I love it.
They're the best.
I have a hard time finding a lot of anime that I actually just don't like at all. So I fit that camp.
It's funny because like I watch a lot of the really bad ones, but like you also have like a realization, right? Like I'm never going to tell you that like this 4 out of 10 show is better than like what is it? I'm trying to think of something that's universally great that no one's going to argue with, but it's really hard to come up with something without like upsetting someone. What was it? Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'm not going to tell you that something is like way better than that or something, right? Like trash is trash, and I just love it. But like, there's some of them that are just like, I feel like people, they just want to be mad at it. Like From Commonplace to World's Strongest is getting a second season, and I'm ridiculously excited about that because that was just a character that just kind of like he lost his mind. Like he just completely lost it and just pissed. And it's a fantastic character. I love him.
I feel like across the board, the most like argued topic of anime is anything that appears in like Shonen Jump. If it has a target young audience and it features magic, fighting abilities, some physical power scaling, whatever, we want to bitch about it. But if it's a slice of life, it's a pick your poison kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
most people just like Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. It was really good. But it's not everybody's cup of tea.
I didn't think I was gonna like that. That was
one of
the boys was
I
like
really didn't either.
I've watched the first episode and I was like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me this is about to throw me for a mental loop? This is my jam, bro.
That was one of the so we used to do like an anime night where we'd watch in Discord or whatever, and that was one of the ones the boys picked, and I was like, I'll watch it with you guys. Like, I don't care. Like, this is kind of the thing that we're doing together, right? And I'm like, this character might take like the main character may take like best boy of the season. Like he might just be the best.
Yeah, there's a lot like that too, man. I like a lot of left field fucking characters or anime period. Like things I never thought I would actually like end up being some of my favorites. Like Grimgar, Fantasy and Ash, if you've seen that, is my favorite isekai period. Because it is, from an art standpoint, it's beautiful. But from like the technicality of the whole thing, like they're real people, right?
Yeah.
Who got teleported into this world and they get their asses handed to them. They're not just like repeatedly. Instantly, oh yeah, we know what we're doing. Like, nah, these apparently level 1 enemies are a problem because they don't know what they're doing.
Yep.
And that shit was like, if you've never seen one before, right? It's a stark contrast to something like SAO, right? You can't just like stand on a bridge and take a bunch of damage and then not actually take that damage. These guys get stabbed by a goblin, they might actually fucking die.
Yep,
And it's just like, whoa, that's huge. And you watch them learn. They go through their emotions and all that stuff. So I love that one. I'd love to see more of it, but you know, I'm the better chance of No Game No Life getting finished before I fucking get more of that.
You see, but the thing is that actually
Why
might come back.
Stop! Why you cut me so deep? Stop it.
So you're saying there's hope.
There's hope.
Don't do this to me, guys.
But
Please.
but speaking of which, there was one that came out recently, and basically it was about this assassin who died. Like he was getting ready to retire. They killed him, and then he gets transported into a whole nother world. And like, that's a good isekai, man. It's
because it's fun.
He has to take these memories, but like it's this whole conflicting lifestyle too, because he was born to be a weapon in his previous life, and then now he's like, you can choose. You can be a weapon if you want. And it's like, hello.
It was the world's greatest assassins reincarnated as an aristocrat.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And it just finished its season. I just finished watching it. It's actually really good. It's a good time. It's not like super serious or anything along those lines. Like it's a solid, I would say like 7 or 8 out of 10. I would say like a 7 out of 10.
I actually enjoyed that a lot. I was surprised that I enjoyed that.
We just gonna talk about isekai and not talk about jobless reincarnation? Like, is that gonna happen? Like,
dude, that one's so good too.
Recent episodes animation.
I love that he's a scumbag too. Oh my god! I'm so tired of the cookie cutter like fucking characters, bro. Oh my god, he's a scumbag.
See, I like the polar opposites of the characters. I like the total scumbag, like, and then I also like the complete, like, just absolute idiot. Like, has no common sense whatsoever. Does not understand anything that's what's going on around him, and then because of that, everyone kicks the shit out of him. Like, he beats the hell out of all the enemies, but everyone kicks the shit out of him because of it. So those, like, I like those polar opposites as long as they're playing to them. It's whenever you just randomly swap between them that it starts getting really irritating for me. So, but yeah, no, jobless reincarnation brought back why animation matters, because some of the like later, like I think like one of the major last fights of the entire season of this past season was like maybe half an episode long, and it was amazing. Like, characters you thought were super dope got their asses handed to them, like absolutely wrecked. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's really good. You guys should go check it out.
It's really good. They pull a lot of whatchamacallit, like real world things and spin it for the anime itself is like as an easily or more easy digestible type of thing. But good fucking god, that's another one that hits the characters with a sense of realism. Like, oh shit, because like I said, he's a scumbag. So he was never really like challenged beyond like, you know, his final moments of life or whatever. Then he comes into this world and he's like, oh, I got all my fucking memories, lives his life to a degree, and we're like with him as he's growing up and stuff like that. And he just never got challenged. I think towards the final bit of the first season in total, he sees the reality of the shit that's happening in the world. And he's like, oh,
right,
okay, this is bad. And then
they force him to like face some of his trauma in certain parts, like where he's like not wanting to leave his house because of trauma from beforehand, and like you can see that it's not so much like a second chance at life, and more like a second chance at like repairing what went wrong in his previous life, like overcoming certain things that happened to him, so on and so forth. Like, they go into it more in the second season, but like it's very psychological, and it's actually really, really cool. And then it's also just a slower take on isekai. Like, it's slow and not in a bad way. Actually, the second season, the way that it ended, I'm going to talk about how it ended exactly, but the way that it ended, like a lot of season of anime, like they give you this pretty big cliffhanger of like this thing that they're going to go do. Like, they have like this massive, like crazy battle or whatever, and then it kind of like just ends, and like the next thing is going to come up or whatever. They didn't do that this time around. They kind of like gave you a full closure on like the arc itself, and then just kind of gave you one small little tickle of something that's coming. And it's like,
yeah,
okay, I really need to know where this is going. Like, I want to see what's happening next, because it's just,
I think what's cool too is that they're not done with it either, because there's a special coming out. It's a movie, like sort of. Yeah. So basically, it's an unaired episode that happened at the same time as like episode 16.
Oh yeah, the episode Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's gonna be really cool because they want to continue the series in a sort of way. So they might just be like, "Oh, here's these spin-offs," and that's really cool. I like that because it's like it'll explore the rest of the world beyond just the main character.
Yeah, it's okay, I just found it. So it's the episode is there's a certain point where two characters break off from the main character to go goblin hunting, and it's what actually happened during that episode itself while the main character was taking care of.
Yeah.
So super cool. I'm actually really excited to see that.
Speaking of really good animation, there was another anime that came out recently, Tactop Destiny.
I have not heard of it.
So Tactop Destiny is basically like they use music to defeat their enemies. So this guy, he's the maestro, and then there's this girl who is kind of like his weapon. So they use music as a means to destroy these enemies. It's really fucking cool, man.
Okay.
It just actually ended its season as well at episode 12.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. Like I've had since I got sick, I've had a lot of time to sit down and just watch anime like all the way through. So I've watched like 2 or 3 seasons of anime.
I think the first episode, like, so I watched the first episode because everybody was hyping up because the animation was dope as hell. I'm like, okay, this is nice, and didn't exactly throw me for a loop. But I watched that first episode and I'm like, what? Second episode they go in, I'm like, what? And then the third episode actually continues to start like where the show should have began. Like that's where the world building happens. So it's like, oh, they got the hooking out of the way. Let's go, bro.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. None of those.
Yeah, it's really good.
You know what we should do while we're talking about anime before everything like swaps?
Right?
We should watch Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.
Oh, I loved it.
We should watch that.
Watch Evangelion 3.0, you said?
Yeah.
3.0 plus 1.01. Like it's on Amazon. It's like 2.5 hours of Evangelion.
Every time I watch Evangelion, my brain melts just a little bit.
So I've watched all of
way.
Evangelion and I hated it, right? Because I'm like, there's so much happening and it kind of sucks and it's just not cohesive. But then that final movie comes out and just wraps everything up with a nice little bow. A terrible ending because it's the wrong choice of waifu, but whatever. Anyway, really good shit, man. I highly recommend it.
We're gonna have waifu wars now. Is that what it is?
No, I mean,
okay. No, I just want to make sure if we're gonna have waifu wars. I need to be prepared. So.
I'm just a Rei Ayanami fan. She deserves happiness.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you made the right choice, so it's okay. You made the right choice. So we don't have to fight.
He likes the softer, blue-haired, reserved anime waifus.
I mean, he said the right thing, though. He didn't say that he just likes her. He said that she was the right choice, like she deserves it. That is true.
She does.
The deserving part is true. That's what I mean. That's the correct waifu, but it is the right reason you made the choice.
Yeah.
So.
Because otherwise, I'm more of a fan of the 0-2 type characters. You know what I'm talking about?
Chaotic.
I know most of you
degenerates doesn't even know what she wants, but you're in it.
Listen, I know most of the degenerates out there just want their waifus to step on them. Their nami mommies, just that's what they're looking for. But you don't. I'm gonna hit you with some controversial words from. I'm not gonna say exactly what devs have said this before, but you think you want that, but you don't. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't know. Just leave it at that.
I've had the same waifu since 97, dude.
The thing is, though, is that I do want that. I like powerful women. That's just it.
All right.
Powerful
it's all
women
fun and games. It's all fun and games till she puts her entire claw through your chest and is lifting you up.
Well, sucks to suck, bro. I got stabbed.
It's fun and games. It's fun and games till her daughters have you in chains. Hung up by the hooks. Yes, I mean, I'm making a Resident Evil reference right now.
It sucks when my hand gets cut off, bro, but at least I know that I'm just going to grow it back.
That is the real victim of 7 of that game, by the way. Fucking hand, dude.
Can we? Oh, no. So this is going to be a small tangent. I'm just a really quick one. But so many of my friends talk so much trash about Ethan. And I sat back and I was like, you realize what 7 and 8 were, right? I was like, he's like, what do you mean? I was like, Resident Evil 7. Guy just tries to be a good husband. Resident Evil 8. Guy just tries to be a good dad. And you guys shit on that character the whole time. He's like, wait, what do you mean? I was like, look at all of his motivation the whole time. The whole time, his motivation, like he's trying to find his wife. Yeah,
He trying to get Mia. He
And
trying to
then-
get his baby.
and
I
he's
think
trying
her
to get
name
his
was
daughter.
Rose.
Yeah, Rose. And then he's trying to get Rose. I'm like, it's just a dude just trying to be a good dude. And you shit on that character. And my friend's like, I mean, when you put it like that.
I think
Yeah,
it's 'cause
exactly.
He was such a
Exactly.
fucking awkward character.
I mean,
He
he was,
really
too.
was really awkward.
He was weird until 8. Like, until like they fleshed him out in 8, he was just a weird dude.
See, the thing is though about Ethan is that he's just not smart, right? And that's the only thing that anybody can really give Ethan shit on is because he's just not smart. But like somebody did like a comparison between him and 7 and him and 8. They were like, all right, look at all these like slightly different reload animations. And 7, he's like reloading all wrong, constantly jamming his gun. But then they took him through military training, and then in 8, you see him like he's a fucking badass for all intents and purposes, right?
Yeah, I blame Chris more than anything else.
I still think Chris is a funny character. Like I don't like Chris in 8, but dude, the that boulder punching asshole, like that got me in Village. I was like, wow, they actually referenced that shit because people preferred like that about that game, like how fucking over the top action it was. Like
Yeah.
in my eyes, dude, 5 and 6 don't exist. Dude, I didn't like those Resident Evils at all. I really didn't. 5 and 6 were just not my bag. I feel like 4 was like the last great, and then the return to the genre with 7 and 8. I'll take those. I'll take
I'm
those.
more
waiting.
controversial though.
I'm waiting.
6 wasn't as bad as you might have thought it was as long as you played with a friend. When you played alone, it was stupid. When you played with a friend, it was hilarious.
I see, but I'm waiting for like a Resident Evil to come out that like it's like true horror again, like because they're all action movies now. That's
They really
what-
are.
That's the whole
And
series.
if they don't
is now.
start that way, they end that way, and that shit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I mean, I'm okay with them ending that way because you had that in Resident Evil 2, fucking Claire, Claire with a minigun, like, and then you had that at the end of Resident Evil 3, especially the remake, giant fucking laser cannon. You know, it's cool as hell, man. But what I really wanted is that moment where it's like, oh shit, I'm afraid. Like when they took all your weapons from you in 8 and had giant baby vagina face coming after you. Like that was creepy, bro.
Did you know that house was designed by the folks who worked on PT? Did you know that?
No.
I did not know that. That's actually
So
awesome.
the because I forgot her name, but the puppet, you're talking about the puppet house in 8, right?
Yeah.
That whole location concept, how they wanted to approach the horror of it was designed by folks who worked on Silent Hill. And that's why it was so good. I read about it and I was like, no wonder that shit was my favorite part of the whole fucking game.
Yeah,
yeah,
that shit was good. That was,
They made you useless. You're like, oh shit, what am I doing? You just had to run. That was it.
and then
It was
every
run.
time you went back to solve the puzzle, you know, with the fucking mannequin, you kept something happen. You're like, is that gonna be a scare? Like it made you uncomfortable, and that's what horror games should do: is make you uncomfortable and then actually scare you later.
I think it's all about the build up. Like it's you being anticipated, like something is gonna f me up. And I don't know when it's gonna happen. I don't know where it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. And I don't like the fact that it hasn't happened yet. And every corner you're turning, it doesn't matter what it is. Like you're just freaking out. Like
Yeah,
did
man.
you guys ever see the what was it? When they unlocked the camera for PT, like when they finally got that version of it where they could like hack into it enough, where they were like, oh, did you ever feel like that chick was always behind you? Like she was always right
Because
there.
she was.
It's because she literally was. It's they made the game with the point of the character. Like whenever you would turn the camera, like your whole character would turn around and she wouldn't be there. It's because she's always literally right behind you the entire time. I was like, I don't like that. I know that now because I'm not gonna go back and play it anymore because I know she's there and I don't like it. I don't like that at all. I'm a big coward. I'll be the biggest baby of all time. It's like, I don't want you anywhere near me because PT scared the shit out of me. Like, PT scared the absolute. I couldn't watch someone play PT. I played PT and it scared the shit out of me.
I played PT for the first time. It was me and my wife, and I was like, hey, you like horror games, right? And she goes, yeah. So I'm like, okay, here you go. I handed her the controller.
That's so wrong.
It's great. Because I like horror games. Horror games are actually a genre of games that I play a lot, like in my own time, just because like I like to immerse myself. They're good.
I love horror games. I feel like I go through a phase every year or two where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to play every single one in existence. And then I go on a hiatus for a while with horror games, and then new ones come out, and I'm just like, yeah, I want to do that again. And that's my pattern with all that shit.
You know, like of horror games, what gets me, and I'm going to use this as an example just because it's like one that we can use. It's not a spoiler, but like, do you remember the Nier raids in 14? I think the third one, the main character, like the little girl or whatever, she pops up on your screen, like her whole face pops up on your screen like multiple times.
Yeah.
That unsettles the shit out of me. Like, it's just, I was like, I don't like that. Stop it. Like, I don't care. Just stop doing what it is you're doing. I don't like it. Get out of my face. Like, I don't need your whole face. I was like, cut it out. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Like shit like that, just it unsettles me and I hate it.
I don't disagree, man.
I couldn't even play the tutorial level of Phasmophobia. I can't do horror games, man. It's bad.
I'm gonna do it next year. I was gonna do a sub goal for horror games and drag the boys into it and see what's up. But I'm a giant coward, so it should be funny.
Yeah, I love Phasmophobia. They just did an update and I haven't played it yet. I think I'm like over level $1,000 in that goddamn game, dude. I love it so much.
Yeah, I need to play it again, especially now with all the new updates too.
I feel like
whatever they just introduced with demonic possession in Phasmo is like, yeah, dude, I'm down.
You can fuck right off with that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna walk the fuck out.
So it sounds like we need to have a Phasmo game with the four of us.
No. The three of you sounds fantastic.
I am down, dude.
3 all of a sudden sounds like the greatest number of all time. No, I'd play it, but like, what was it? I totally forgot my train of thought there on this.
Wow. This whole fucking Reddit says that a lot of people seem to agree that Ethan Winters is just a Silent Hill pro tag in Resident Evil.
You know, I can see that. Actually,
I could definitely see that. Yeah, 100%. I could definitely see that. That makes a lot of sense.
I'm trying to see who it was that worked on PT that worked on Resident Evil, and I can't seem to fucking find it anymore. But every article is pointing to we took that page from PT.
But is it oh yeah, it's every, and I believe this 100%, of every horror game I've ever seen, like anyone play, every horror game needs to have proximity chat if it's multiplayer. 100%. I don't know what it is about proximity chat, but it just makes you feel more alone when there's no one around, and it's that much worse.
I like it more when they can hear you. When the things in the game can hear you. Like Perception was really good because of that.
Any horror game that you can hide under the bed, I really don't want to play it because that tells me I have to at some point, and that's not a POV I'm too happy with. It's like you got under the bed. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close this now. Goodbye.
So I don't remember the name of the game because it was they made it for a game jam, right? It was a free horror game that I just downloaded at one point, and it was whatever. So they created hiding spots in this game that you never used, but with the guise of making you think you'd have to use them.
Yeah, it's the worst.
And I loved that. I was like, so you mean to tell me I'm gonna turn the corner, hear some giant like chains, being dragged around the floor, and they're gonna be like, yeah, there's a closet that you can hide in. Like, there's an animation for you going into the closet. You don't actually need to use it ever.
Yeah, you want to make a scary game? Make it so you can hold the door closed when you hide in a room. Because that makes you think that something's going to try to burst in the room as you're holding the door closed. That's exactly how you terrify someone.
And then
game, bro.
Yeah, instead of you'll have the monster banging on the door and you're holding it shut, and then all of a sudden something materializes behind you. And you're like, that's illegal.
Yeah, the Phasmo hands coming out from behind you to grab your face. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
What is this? Why am I even here?
Yeah,
I love that, dude.
Mechanics.
the implied horror, and not the actual thing that's happening to you. The implied horror. There's a lot of stock in that. That's why psychological thrillers are as good as they are, because it's almost always what you're not thinking about. And if something tells you to think about it, you start thinking of every other thing that goes with that. You're like, oh, they're like, don't speak. If that's the only rule you give me, I'm asking why in every language, because why? Why?
Why can't I talk? Like, why am I not?
Why can't I talk?
I had to find the game that they were playing. There was a YouTube channel I follow where a group of guys were playing like some horror games, and one of them has there's a creature that could hear you. Like you had proximity chat, and he could hear you talk or whatever.
Oh,
I think the funniest moments were from their different POVs of like someone getting caught by this creature and screaming out loud, but from the other person's POV where they can hear them super far off in the distance, hear them scream, and then hear the monster like roar or whatever. Like that's like the worst feeling ever, is being in a game with your boy and hearing him and you hear the monster or whatever, but it's super far off in the distance. You're just
I feel like that's the one that was kind of like Phasmo,
oh, no.
but it's like it's a blind creature. And he's in
Yes,
the woods,
so.
and it can hear you, and it's like you're supposed to be. Oh yeah, we should play that one too. That one's actually not bad.
Isn't the monster? Can you play with an AI monster, or is it player controlled?
It's an AI monster.
Oh,
it's an AI monster. Yeah, it was a group of guys that I watched. There's only 3 of them that played.
I literally think it's called In Silence.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, and I know you can have someone play as the monster because when the player is playing the monster,
that's exactly
it's all blurred out.
Yeah, they can't see shit. Yeah. They have to operate off of literally sound, and that's it. Yeah. But the monster's really good at covering ground. It's just how good are you at being quiet? And that's
yeah. It's called In Silence. Yeah, that's it.
Yep. But yeah, I think you can have it as an AI, but I just don't know if it's as good as a player.
That is quite the set of games to play.
Yeah,
I get the feeling that October 2022 is going to be the year I have a heart attack. Just going to go ahead and make sure I get my insurance updated as soon as possible.
Don't worry, I'll be right there next to you.
Oh God,
we'll go together like your mug.
Exactly. Take me out with you,
bro. You know what game actually left early access finally? It's GTFO.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
really?
That game. I definitely want to pick that up at some point and play that because that looks dope as hell.
Okay.
That's the co-op horror game. Yeah, I still don't have that. It's on sale right now, 25% off.
Oh,
I don't know if I have that.
Yeah, $30. $30.
Add that to the old list, I guess.
Ends on January 5th when the winter sale ends. Crazy.
Cannot believe you guys are actually making me think about playing. Oh, this game? Oh
my bro.
Oh no, come on. You couldn't think of anything else. There was nothing else on the list of like scare games you want to come on. This one is the one where they give you weapons and you're still useless. It's like the worst kind of useless. The worst kind of. Oh, put it in the cart, but I'm not gonna be happy about it. I refuse to be excited. Damn it. But now since we're, I guess, fully transitioned to video games at this point, I think I started that one up. I'd say actually, my bad, but I don't feel bad in the slightest.
No, so the original topic that we had for the day, by the way, it devours another one. Actually, that one's fun.
Okay.
That's the goat one.
That's one of them, yeah.
One of the things where you gotta summon goats.
Oh yeah,
this is the game that was like a direct response to Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
Right. They wanted it because this one follows more along the lines of like actual like ritualistic stuff, not just like supernatural, but ritualistic, and it's like crazy.
That's another one that I'm not going to be able to do very well. I'm gonna be the one just hiding in closets, just screaming.
Like the closer you get to the thing, like you start believing in it. Like if you already have an inclination that this thing is real, and then you play a game that's like, oh hey, let's take that and dial it to 11. You're like, oh no,
yeah, because it's very they try to get as close as they can to like document the rituals of these creatures and things like that, and it's unsettling. It's pretty unsettling.
Yeah.
Any horror game that features spirits and like rituals and stuff like that also has a morgue in it. I'm a bitch, dude. Okay, like I love scary games, but oh my god, am I a bitch? I'm
an absolute coward. Absolutely, put me in a game where anime power one versus about 1 million. Sign me up. I will take him every. You have 3% chance of survival. Don't care. 2%.1. Let's go every single time. Random asshole number 1 with random asshole number 2 with giant spooky monsters chasing around you. Yep, I'm out, dude. It's like, you're gonna leave me alone? Absolutely. I'll kick you while you make you fall down as I run away. Don't even care. I won't bat an eye.
I gotta go.
Like, I gotta be anywhere but here right now. Peace.
It makes me want to play The Forest.
I've never played The Forest.
I also have never played The Forest. I've seen The Forest, but I've never played it.
Forest is good. That one's
Sounds like we
it's
have
a survival horror game, right? Like in concept, but it's like the concept is different. It's not like, oh, you're here looking for trouble. No, you're on a plane, it crashed, you're on an island, and you need to survive, right? But there's like sicknesses, there's indigenous wild cannibals, then there's also like other creatures and stuff like that. So it's not like spooky, scary skeletons and ghosts and shit like that. It's like, oh, these are almost cryptids and we're in the woods with them. Sick. But it's a survival horror game, so you can put it down for a day, come back and just pick up where you left off. Think Don't Starve and Valheim, they had a baby, but this came out in 2018.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, but there's also an overarching story. You're supposed to be going after your son. So
there's multiple endings to that story too.
Yeah.
Because creepy monster picks up kid and walks away with him. That's fair. That's fair. After you went through horrible crash, one of you sees creepy monster pick up kid and walk away with him. The rest of you are like, what happened? So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So now that we're on the topic, what we were supposed to talk about at some point today was NFTs and how we hate them.
About to date the heck out of myself, dude. NFTs make me so unreasonably upset. Like the entire concept makes me so unreasonably upset.
Yeah, because just Square Enix is deciding. So for the other guys who are just tuning into this, Square Enix, one of the companies that I hold near and dear to my heart, is deciding that they want to jump into the whole metaverse NFT idea. Right? So, okay, cool, I get it. For those of you guys who don't know what NFTs are, they're non-fungible tokens. Basically, they use blockchain technology to be able to determine who buys and sells what. And the way that they want to use NFTs in video games is for you buying an item and then having that item to be able to be used in everything that, let's say, said company makes. So let's say you buy a hoodie in, I don't know, Final Fantasy 16, a single player game, but you want to go use it in another multiplayer game that they bought, that they made. You would technically be able to do that because you own the rights and the assets would still be usable for that. That's one of the concepts that they're looking for here. But the idea is they're using a blockchain company for this, right? So to be able to track that you did buy it, right? Now, cool, nothing inherently wrong with that except for it's NFTs, bro. Literally one of the most economic damaging things you've ever seen in your life. Basically, have you seen bit mining facilities where they have like 1,500 GPUs and how much electricity they uses to be able to mine a fraction of a Bitcoin? They're trying to do the same thing. That's what NFTs are in this case, because that's how they have to house them. It uses that much electricity. It's just incredibly terrible for the companies and whatnot. Now, there are a lot of people who are out there who are immediately against this because they're trying to use this in single player games, multiplayer games, and all that. And more companies are entertaining the idea, right? And it's gotten to the point where these AAA companies are trying to jump on the bandwagon and treat digital goods as if they're physical items. That's not okay.
Yep. And I'm just scrolling through this, and man, Twitter never changed because they are just memeing this into oblivion. Wow.
Yeah, there's this part here where Sai posts this in our little Discord chat that we got going on here, where it says, lastly is blockchain games. Be they single player or online games have traditionally involved a unidirectional flow whereby creators such as ourselves provide a game to the consumers that play them. By contrast, blockchain games which have emerged from their infancy and are at this very moment entering a growing phase, are built upon the premise of a token economy and therefore hold the potential to enable self-sustaining game growth. The driver that most enables such self-sustaining game growth is diversity, both in how people engage with interactive content like games and in their motivations for doing so. Advances in token economies will likely add further momentum to this trend of diversification. I see the play to earn concept that has people so excited as a prime example of this. Now, the immediate thought about this is play to earn is a very different idea from NFTs. Basically, you know, have let's say Final Fantasy 14. Everything in that game is a play to earn thing. Your mounts that you gotta go to. There's some exceptions here and there, like some promotional items and whatnot, but everything is, yeah, I mean, everything for the most part is still play to earn.
Yeah.
These NFTs are not that concept as much as they're trying to push it, because what you wind up having is you're going to buy an item. You technically, in some way, shape, or form, own this item, this digital item, and therefore no one else can technically have it because you own it. And you bought that using your money. There's nothing to earn there. That is a pay to win system.
Yeah, it's so I don't want to be the devil's advocate guy all the time. Like the other side of this is the concept of owning something and being able to use it in multiple locations does add this level of identity, I feel like, to a lot of things, which is kind of cool. But at the same time, at what cost? Like where do you draw the line? Like the idea is like, oh, I bought this thing or I got this thing. I should rephrase that. If it was more of a, I got this thing in one game and I can use it in a different, that'd be kind of cool. But it's more of like I bought the rights to this thing. Now I can use it in any version of your game is the way that it works, which is substantially less cool, actually.
Yeah, because like
the more I think about it.
The idea is like if you were gonna have an NFT, like let's say a digital thing, and you can use that in every game going forward, that's really cool, because then that means that there's this level of identity that you'll always have. If I have a hoodie and a shirt, a pair of jeans or whatever, then I can use that in every single game. Kind of a cool concept. No one's gonna argue that. But when you have this thing right now where realistically that's a utopian society for video games that's never going to exist, because there's going to be that one company that has a AAA title and they'd be like, oh, by the way, we don't have NFTs in our game, so you can use these pre-made assets that we made. Our game is incredibly popular, and then your NFTs are going to be useless.
So what it reminds me of, to use my very, very anime brain, it reminds me of the concept that they used for VR MMOs and like SAO and stuff like that.
Right.
Where the assets of a character was brought in multiple different games, which that concept would be kind of cool. Like your character existing in that would be my dream. If I had my one character thing that I pulled across games that existed or anything like that would be super dope. But like, if this feels like a step toward that in the worst way. Like this feels like you owning something, but like having to buy, like the moment you bring money into this is actually like a conversation. When you mention pay to win, a lot of people get really, really up in arms about the concept pay to win, but like realistically it is somewhat that sort of concept itself. And the reality of the situation is when someone can pay for something, the moment becomes an advantage. It doesn't matter how much you're paying, how expensive it is. People are going to do it. And if it puts them ahead, it's a problem. Now, if you're going to already buy a game itself, you should already get a certain amount from that game, regardless of having to purchase extra things along with it. So it also opens the door for like very lazy style of game, like of game making in the future. Like, oh, well, you can just buy all these assets of like your own stuff and then bring it into the game itself, but we don't really have very many there for you in the first place.
Yeah.
So like there's less of a drive to push, like, I hate to say just like fashion in general, but like, I mean, some people play games for fashion, right? Like people play Final Fantasy 14 for fashion. People play games like PS2 for fashion. Like if that was a focus that you're able to bring your own stuff in, where would the drive exist for them to have that sort of like baked into the game itself?
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be a pretty big issue. I
completely agree with that. And so in the same article, they spoke about how there's a certain number of people whose motivation is play to contribute, right? Now they basically start talking about how this is a means of like user generated content in a sort of way. Now, I think that's an interesting thing to talk about here, because you can use NFTs like that, but you would still need to create a basis of a game that's functional with that, so that way even if somebody were to create this user generated content, it can't break the confines of the game, or it can't explicitly create something insane. Otherwise you're basically just creating Second Life with NFTs. Everybody make their own game in the game, and you can fly around, do whatever the hell you want, I guess, which is just VR chat. But whatever.
You can't trust people.
No.
I'm sorry, MapleStory 2 learned that very, very quickly. You cannot trust people to make their own stuff. You can't. You just can't. Unless you police it like hardcore, you cannot.
Yeah.
Like
I still think about MapleStory 2 sometimes. Dude.
like it's awful. Like I was one of the people that played MS2 on launch, and it like the very like channel 1, the very first house in the middle, it was just full of dicks. Like, that was the whole thing all over it. I was like, you cannot trust people to make things. Like you can't. I'm sorry, just not a thing you can do.
No.
Yeah. The whole like the way I'm understanding this whole Square Enix's approach to NFTs is he the president mentions that they don't have tokens and they don't have plans to create their own tokens just yet. And I took one of their excerpts, or one of his excerpts at the bottom. He says, "We will keep a close eye on societal shifts in this space while listening to the many groups of users that populate it, and ramp up our efforts to develop a business accordingly with an eye to potentially issuing our own tokens in the future." So the way it sounds to me right now is exactly what Mark said with like the whole Second Life VR chat thing. It's like, imagine playing a game like Final Fantasy 14, right? Where you earn an achievement in the game, and the more prestigious the achievement, right, and link to it something that you can then take with you and use in VR chat. Now, this is yours, and you can use that piece of digital merch to trade up, trade down, sell, or whatever, thus earning this currency that is, you know, generated using this blockchain technology and all this other stuff. So there's multiple ways that they're trying to do it. And the way I see it is he's trying to start a fire, but contain it, right? And I just personally, I'm not a big fan of it. Like I get what he's talking about is like, what he's talking about is not particularly dangerous. But my problem with NFTs isn't even the NFTs themselves. It's the currency used to purchase NFTs that causes the problem, because folks will mine cryptocurrencies in warehouses for years to purchase NFTs, and then wear that like a status symbol online, and then compare it to, well, it's no different than someone buying a Ferrari. It's like, yeah, but you know, to farm the currency you used to buy that NFT, you didn't level a forest to buy a Ferrari. Like, it is fundamentally different, but I see where people draw those parallels and comparisons, because we put a lot of stock growing up in Xbox Live achievements, right?
Yeah,
and that was
absolutely.
like our status when we had our gamer score was so fucking huge. We're like, yeah, look at this shit. We 100%ed so many games. That's just now translated to, I got this NFT. This is sick, right? And then people want to meme it. Sure, granted, I personally believe that crypto bros deserve to be memed on every day. But
Day of the week.
at the same time, all of these companies, like, we want to get mad at all of them because of the way they approach it. And of all the companies that have approached it to play the devil's advocate, Square seems to be approaching it with the most level head. And it's not just like, hey, let's create all of this, and this. You play our game, you buy our game, you earn this stuff, and you can take that wherever you want, because we've seen that crash and burn with, like, what was it, Stalker? I think they had like a helmet that was going to get like a reference number
that was
on it.
That was Ubisoft with Ghost Recon. Stalker,
Okay, it was
you could
Ghost
be an
Recon
NPC in the game.
Okay. So two different NFT or blockchain game shits that they were still doing, but different, mixing them up. But that was the concept. They were going to immediately dive into it and immediately do this. And what that does, I think Chrono talked about it. It's like, you're going to have people who are just going to play this game, and the moment it feels like it's putting them ahead, they're going to fucking do it. And they don't care. They have no fucking qualms about spending money to get something or grinding endlessly to obtain this status and then walk away with it.
See,
And that's it.
That's where you have to like draw the line between the two. The grinding endlessly to get take something, actually, like, and I might not have explained it the best way beforehand, so I didn't want to kind of like add to it a bit. if it's all just about grinding and a status and like it's just time, right? It's just in the game itself. I think it promotes the proper things for gaming in general. And I mean, I think Mark's absolutely correct. I think Slap mentioned it about like starting a fire and trying to like contain the fire itself. They're trying to start like a thing that like this is going to be the next thing. We want to get ahead and mention it and like let you guys know that we're going to be on top of this. And other people are going to do this as well, but like this is how we're going to do it. We're going to keep an eye on it, and it would be cool for this to be a thing until you involve money. As long as money and power are not a part of it, then it's fine. It doesn't matter how far it goes. As soon as money and in-game power become a part of it, you broke it. And the thing is that while we can trust Square to make the right choices, we cannot trust every company to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's the big thing
where
too.
It's going to break. Like that's where you lose it. And it's a thing. It's like, yo, you can spend $20 to get this thing that's going to give you like 10% power in like every game we have. People are going to spend the money. It doesn't matter what it is. Like it's and if that becomes what gamers should have learned over the past 5 years, that if something becomes, if we do it, it becomes the norm. Like look at pre-release games, look at DLCs, look at all these things that we were like, it's not that big of a deal. It happens occasionally, and now it's like all the time. This is a very normal thing that we have created ourselves. So
yeah, and like with one of the big things that I see, with like DLCs, that there's a right and a wrong way to do it. Like it could be the same thing with NFTs, and I'm not opposed. Me personally, I'm not opposed to the idea of NFTs. What I'm opposed to is the societal impact that they have as a result of them, of people just not trying to optimize the technology. Like if the technology's there, cool, find a way to use it. Like I'm not gonna stifle progress in any sort of way.
It's so much computing power in cryptocurrency generation and mining that is just wasted on a number.
Exactly.
And I hate it.
It's like, because if you can be like, all right, NFTs, it's basically one regular server and you can house like 30 million of them. Okay, fine, bro, I'm with that. But not when you need to have a fucking warehouse of crypto fucking mining bullshit, man. Fuck that, dude.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Like, let them all play Tetris or some shit. Make it worth it. Like, they just all like. It's just like, yeah. We got another 0.0 to the fucking 15th power 1 of a new fucking crypto. Sick. And then like, oh man, and everyone makes a fucking argument. Oh, but there's like a bunch of different kinds of crypto. Yeah, that's the problem. Because everyone's trying to get on top of like the next crypto craze, and then we're mining Ethereum, we're mining Doge, we're mining Bitcoin, and we're just mining all this stuff. And then people wonder why there's like a global shortage in like silicon, why the price of graphics cards are like, a down payment on a fucking car, and then like all this other stuff, because we can't justify it anymore. And no one cares about that really. And it's just, I don't know, it's just crazy. Like I said, NFTs themselves, don't mind them, because artists who do make NFTs and get paid fairly, emphasis on paid and fairly for their NFT creations, is like, that's fine, because people are making a living off of that the cleanest way possible. But there are folks out there who are amassing a collection, like they're out here doing the equivalent of $10,000 on Pokemon card boxes, but they're not bringing home the cards. They're just, they bought a picture online that's not even really fucking theirs. They bought the receipt for it.
Slap, you do it. So it sucks, because I feel like our age is kind of catching up too, because it's like, and this is the concept, right? Like, remember going out buying Pokemon cards, buying like, a physical item itself, going out doing this, that, and the other. It kind of feels like the same way of explaining to like someone who's older, spending money on like an in-game purchase or buying skins, or you didn't buy an actual item that you have. It's just something in the game. It's something digital.
Yeah.
And I guess to clarify, I don't hate NFTs altogether. I hate the concept of NFTs. And I hate the power that an NFT currently has.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's what is current, like it's the next craze, and it pushes like it's fallout just causes all these other problems, like the whole Bitcoin thing and like all that stuff. Like it, like I mean, who would have thought we would be like? Who would have thought 5-6 years ago that it would actually be a better choice to buy a pre-built computer in some situations than building one yourself, because the parts you need are more expensive, like are way more expensive. Some people are buying pre-built machines just so they get a graphics card, like, and then selling off all of the parts. Like it's insane to think, and that's all fallout from first crypto coin mining, and then moving into NFTs. And it's just the level and the direction we're going is starting to like get a little bit concerning.
Yeah, and then you also have the idea that there are a lot of people that are out there who are taking other artists' work and then minting them as NFTs, and that's like, there's no method of responsibility there. Like you need to be able to prove that you created this before you can even mint it in the first place. But there's nothing set in stone for that yet. So you can literally take somebody else's artwork and just be like, I made this, smile. He's like, thanks Twitch chat, I get you, but no, you didn't make this, right? I think the only company that's actually out there that's looking to combat that, dare I say, is DeviantArt.
Irony. the irony. But like that's part of the problem with these new things that are popping up with the currencies as well as now the NFTs is like laws don't exist for this stuff. Like they just, and we aren't exactly quick about making them exist. So people get screwed a lot of the time.
There's now only laws for like your taxable income when it comes to NFTs and cryptocurrency because of NFTs, but everything else it's not. It's like the technology is way too new for there to be anything, and people are just taking advantage of it in the worst ways possible. And that's why I feel like any company who's in the process of right now even considering it needs to be advocating is like, all right, we want this to be a thing, right? Because we could see the potential in said technology, but by just enabling it, like saying, hey, we're going to do this, or even speaking about it, is you're enabling all the bad practices within that industry already. You have to be the advocate for change if you want to be able to implement it in a positive way. And that's why I feel like you're right with Square Enix. They're trying to, do it in the least destructive way possible. But again, part of me is just, are they ignoring all of the other issues that are happening as a result of NFTs?
I think they believe it's inevitable. And I think when you believe something like this is inevitable, the best thing you can do for yourself is to get ahead of it. And I don't blame them. From what we've seen so far, like of things going on, like things that you would have never guessed would be a thing. Told me tomorrow people are selling, you know what, I was going to say air, but I think that's already a thing. We sell bath water, we sell air, we sell all kinds of stuff. Like nothing really phases you anymore. So like I feel like this is just Square Enix getting ahead of what they think is inevitable.
I mean, and I would hope that that's the case, but at the same time, it's just like a damn, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's how it's written, and I think that's how it's intended to be read. Like he speaks of it as like an inevitability. Like blockchain gaming is the Thanos of gamer world for all intents and purposes, and they're just like, let's see what we can do. And he's just trying to get in front of it. That's why I made the analogy of like a controlled fire. Because like, make no mistake, it's a fire, but they're trying to, put it in a nice, neat little box. And I think if you had to pick a developer to trust right now, there's very few out there that I would personally trust to even dive into this. And Square is one of those I would trust. If you asked me 10 years ago, it might have been Blizzard, but we know how that's going. So that's not happening. But I mean, we see how Square is treating their audience as well. It's like, you got to give it to somebody. It's like, do you trust EA? No. Do you trust Ubisoft? No. You
I'm going to be real with you. It's literally just Square. And like the second one that's really scary kind of is Nintendo. Like those are the two. Like Nintendo's kind of a steep, like maybe, but like I know they at least treat in-house decently. Like, those are the two companies that I'd be like, Okay, yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
But part of that's
outside it's AAA. Out of all the fucking developers out there, there's a handful of indie devs that I could trust with it, and like one or two AAA devs I can deal with it. Everyone else needs to be waiting for the next bus because the road's not paved yet, and you've got no suspension. You're not going to enjoy the ride.
absolutely, it's gonna be a rocky road. And it's funny because like part of it too, and this isn't just like us saying like these are devs that we just like, we stand because we like these devs, so on and so forth. There, I think we mentioned this before the podcast started, and even you mentioned Blizzard. There is no perfect dev to take on this. Like there's no one who is like infallible, who isn't like trying to make money, things of that sort. But there are limits of what you accept, and part of what we accept, at least I know I accept as someone who I hate to say as gamers. I hate that word. Like I hate like gamers. But as we accept as individuals is that like the product isn't shit. And the company can get a couple of like they have a couple of moments where we're like, okay, we'll let that pass as long as the product isn't shit. When the product is shit and the company is shit, we don't trust you. Like, so that's kind of the way
it
things
needs to be an honest attempt, bro. Give me some good effort before I put some eggs in that basket.
Exactly. Like, come on. I think the easiest example is like people always make the argument for like, because you mentioned Blizzard beforehand, World of Warcraft having like their online store, right? Like the whole, the cash shop or whatever.
Right.
And Final Fantasy 14 also has a cash shop. The major difference is that WoW's been a shit game for a long time now. Like it's been shit for a while. It's not just recently shit. It's been shit for years. It's just now people are finally fed up. Like this is just like, oh, it's shit and you guys are shit. All right, now we're done. So
yeah, that's the big takeaway from that. That was a really big takeaway from that. That's why, and that's something to think about too. Like if you've ever sat there and thought about video games as a whole, like if the game you're playing right now adopted blockchain tech and jumped on the NFT bandwagon, would you still play that game, right? And how many developers out there of games that you do play are you comfortable playing a game that has that? Because it's really quick right now with how volatile it is as a topic that people hear that, oh, they're making an NFT game, that we want to burn that bridge immediately, right? But if you had to trust somebody, like make no mistake, I don't like what NFTs do to people, right? Because we all get real fucking angry when we start hearing about NFTs and crypto. Like I don't like what it does to people. But if you had to pick somebody, maybe that's a topic for you to just talk about. Like, or just go through, like yourselves, like not even like here or anywhere else. Just like think about that for yourself.
Yeah.
If you had to pick somebody, who would you trust to hold your hand into that environment, right? Because me personally, I don't want anybody that's just immediately going to just drive me off a cliff, dude. This ain't PUBG. I want something that's going to be solid, Show me some R&D, like show me some steps and give me a roadmap for what it's worth on how you plan on attacking the problem. You know what I mean? And then that's it for me.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that, because until I see something like that, right, I am vehemently against NFTs in every way, shape, or form, because I don't know where you're leading me with this. I don't know what's happening. Like, I can trust you, but how far can I trust you is really the question.
I feel like it's a situation where it's gonna be like, I almost kind of want it to be like if NFTs ever became a thing. This is like way down the line. This is again the anime brain just popping in again, but like a time that would make sense for me for NFTs in a game would be when we actually develop, like people are talking about like VR technology, like really pushing hardcore into VR technology. Like when we develop that style of technology far enough in, I feel like NFTs would have a better a premise and a place. And the crazy part about it is I feel like not even like the devs we have currently, but maybe even a new dev that's pushing into NFTs just to see what they're going to be doing. Because I mean, Slappy mentioned it, like games you're playing right now, who would you trust, right? A lot of us play really shit games. We all play some pretty bad games here and there. Like, I can say the only company I would trust would be Square Enix at the moment, because they're the only company I've seen that have like shown that they're dedicated specifically to making sure that you get a product that makes sense, and if they fuck up, they're covering it. Like that's what I've seen recently, and that's in someone who's just gone through MMO explosion, new game everyone's playing, hours upon hours of trying to get in, like problems situation, right? Like going through all of that, I have that level of trust because I've seen how they've handled it. I can't think of another dev team that like shows that much promise. Like you mentioned R&D, show me like where you're going, show me a roadmap. Like I'm thinking in my head, who else would show that? And I can't think of anyone. Like flat out, I think of no one else. I think of Sega because I've seen their recent roadmaps for PSO2. Like they have a roadmap at the very least. Maybe I don't agree with everything they show on there, but they at least give you one. But I don't see any other games that do things like this. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know. So I almost kind of want to give it to someone completely new and see what they would do with it.
Yeah. The president was talking about how it's finally like getting out of its infancy. I think over the next like 6 to 9 months, we're going to see more about it, not just from Square, but from other developers and companies as well. Because like let's be honest, at the end of the day, you don't trust people like Amazon to do NFT stuff, right? You don't trust them to do that. You don't trust Facebook and the metaverse itself to do anything like that. So I think if anybody's going to do it, I think Square's doing it the right way. But again, I still need to see more because let's be honest, people who play video games and have been for at least the past 10 years are no strangers to digital content. And he brought up the point of digital content. It's like we spend money on that shit all the time. Like we really do. But its use is restricted to that game, and that's where this is different, and that's why I need to see more before I'm like, okay, I'll take a slice.
Put away my phone with a gotcha. I'm just gonna set that aside.
Like, oh
man. So it's funny because I bring up VR chat, right? And we touched on the metaverse, and the moment I saw the metaverse, and I'm like, that's just VR chat, but like, not. That's just like watered down VR chat.
It's more accessible VR chat. That's how they're marketing it.
Yeah, but
how they're marketing it. Hey, look, what it is, right? Like what it actually is, and then what they're marketing it as is like there's a disconnect clearly. But
marketing is a big thing, though. Like you tell someone to jump into VR. If I told you, any of you guys, I was like, "Yo, I bought my like 16-year-old cousin a VR headset, and they're gonna jump into VR chat." How many of you guys would be freak out immediately? Like everyone's gonna have a moment. They're like, "Oh, VR chat." Like marketing is a big portion of how you take anything nowadays. So I mean,
yeah,
marketing
I can see that.
Well, I mean, I haven't looked at it enough to find out really, but like,
I don't know. Marketing was really just Sweet Baby Ray's on the shelf. that was the marketing.
No, like this.
Hello, how you do, fellow humans? We like barbecue sauce, right? Yeah.
Oh, no.
Love barbecue sauce. Really good.
But I mean, it's an exciting prospect, but like it needs to be done right. Like I really don't. I'm concerned about more of the fallout than in the potential.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The only other thing on top of the fallout is how much is this going to bleed into other things that I enjoy. Really, at the end of the day, like if Square as the company does something and they fuck up, right? Does it affect my enjoyment of the other Square IPs? Probably not.
Man.
But if the trickle down is real, ooh.
That's where it comes in. Is like that's what I mentioned. Is like if a game is shit, when the company fucks up, you care a little bit less about it. Like the reality of the situation is, if you have a great product, people tend to be a little bit nicer about you screwing something up, right? Like you took a shot, it didn't go out right.
You need a good track record, right? Because you've seen what having one done. You know, we've also seen how fast one can be ruined. Looking at you, CD Projekt Red, you can ruin the shit out of that really quick.
I watched a video from like a year and a half ago. Someone talking up about CD Projekt Red and all this other stuff, how excited they were for like Cyberpunk, and I was like, oh, that did not age well. Oh, that aged so bad.
Like, so I'm partnered with GOG. And like, so occasionally, without breaking any like sort of NDAs or whatever, occasionally they'll be like, "Yeah, we know we fucked up." So like they're trying. They're self-aware, but they know that's damaging to their reputation.
Yeah, like a good track record's also. It's also important to like pay attention. Like you can see how being disconnected from your, I don't say you're just your fans, but like your consumer can really be. I'm talking about. I'm going to say the scary word. I'm talking about you, Blizzard. You can see how being disconnected from your consumer can really cause damage over the course of like 10 years. Like it's really, really bad.
Blizzard's disconnected from just a lot of things, not just their fucking consumers.
I've never
disconnected from their employees.
Disconnected from life. But anyway, like it is more than just a track record, but a track record does help out quite a bit. You can derail a track record really fast.
Yeah.
Like, really, really fast. People don't forget anything nowadays. So
No.
Well, the internet saves it for you now.
yeah, they don't let you delete anything. The internet will find everything.
Yeah.
Everything that's ever existed.
I'm generally usually okay with that.
Yeah,
It's a new year, though, man. It's a new year.
Yeah, new year, new me, right? Like that's the meme.
It's a new year. Yeah,
Happy
I
New
mean,
Year, by the way, to all of
New
you.
year, new
Happy New Year,
NFTs,
everyone who's
I'm
listening.
sorry.
yeah,
by the
Happy
way.
New Year.
Yeah.
I just,
I guess we totally missed that. By the way,
Yeah.
we're recording this literally on the 1st. Happy New Year,
Yeah,
everyone.
Actually,
True.
yeah, we did. I did even like mention that we were gonna say that, but
it's because the older we get, the more it feels like another goddamn day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was like, what did I do? Like, dude, I went to bed early last night. I woke up at like 8 in the morning.
I went to bed at about 2 a.m., but like I didn't do anything because like the most I did was check on my brother because he was out partying or whatever. But like I'm stuck in quarantine. I caught COVID, unfortunately. It sucks. But like I'm stuck in quarantine. I can't do anything. Like what else am I supposed to do?
Yeah. Yeah. What are we supposed to do?
I don't know. I just played Final Fantasy 14 all night, so
I was there. I did that.
yeah, but that's what you do.
I need to do more of that.
I have a lot to prepare for. Next week is raid week, dude.
Yeah, it goes down on Monday, and then Tuesday is day one of Pandemonium Savage.
Next week, all week, I just don't exist.
Yeah, I'm party finder progging for the raid.
I'm not even touching this for at least a week.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to prog for the purpose of learning mechanics in advance. So if I run it with anybody else, it's we're sharing notes on prog. Because like I feel like the general consensus right now is 2 and 4 are gonna be absolutely abysmal. No questions asked. That water sleuth and Nosferatu dick brain over there, that shit's gonna suck. I promise you. In Savage.
We're on a complete, at least I know my raid team, like, and a few of my friends and like people that I've talked to, like, I mean, I'm a tank, so I main tank. Funny enough, I'm not even playing Gunbreaker this tier. I'm going straight warrior because I tanked the third boss fight, the Phoenix. First off, for those of you guys who haven't played 14,
I hate that entire fucking fight, by the way, because
it's awful. I absolutely
weird.
despise that fight, and it's just two bosses smashed together. It's literally just Phoenix plus Cruise Chaser, because it's a bunch of Phoenix mechanics with the Blackfires and the Whitefires. You do still have limit cut mechanics, which, oh my god, I can't wait for Arthur's to get hit with limit cut again. For those who follow 14 stuff, but like it's literally just those two boss fights put together, and the name Phoenix, dude. Like I looked at that name and I was like, discount Phoenix? Like what happened? That and everything's orange.
Phoenix.
I memed the shit out of that. I tell you that. I looked at that. I was like, that's not how you spell Phoenix. I had people in my chat like, no shit, it's a different person. It's like, I know that. I can read. I watched the story.
Yeah, that's not cute or interesting or anything along those lines, chat. So if you're like, it's a different, shut up. No, it's the same boss. They added 2 more heads and they just slapped Cruise Chaser on it. Don't talk to me. Like I refuse to believe it. But
that's
at least
gonna be a good time.
At least the original like Phoenix was orange in a blue arena. This guy is orange in red in orange red arena.
And the fucked up part about it for me is that my eyes already oversaturate the colors red and anything involved in red. So imagine me trying to do that fucking fight. I'm blind.
We're like, yeah, good luck seeing the orange AoE on the orange floor with the orange background, dickhead. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, so for us,
then out, then get in again. Oh yeah, where? What AoE are you talking about?
So for us, at least for me, I know personally, I'm gonna hate 3. 3 is going to be the worst. 2 is cool. First fight's dope. Fourth fight is going to be interesting, but like everyone knows there's going to be another form to him. I'm just waiting for whatever the second form is going to be. So like whatever that happens to be, that's cool. But like it's going to be one of the situations. And yeah, I am 100% playing Warrior for that tier, by the way, because screw moving any boss that's 3 or 4 on Gunbreaker. I refuse. As easy it is for Warrior, it's ridiculous. Plus, Warriors are broken. There has not been a single boss since the level 83 dungeon boss that has been able to kill me on Warrior. That's not even a flex or an over exaggeration. I'm dead serious. If you know what you're doing, you just heal all of the damage deals. Like,
yeah, shit's crazy. I love healing warriors as a stage.
I love how Home Gang literally has the shortest cooldown out of all of the tanks that have skills similar.
They buffed Home Gang again. Like, I don't understand. They keep buffing Home Gang. Like, Home Gang originally, I think, what was it? Xeno talked about this. Home Gang originally just changed your target to you and pulled it to you. Then they made it so you couldn't drop below 1 HP. Then they made it so it was a way lower cooldown, and they removed the fact that you were stuck in place. And then they increased the cooldown by a minute. That's just fine. But now they just added, and they made it 10 seconds long. Like, what? it's the shortest cooldown of all time. It is absolutely ridiculous. And you can full heal yourself.
Yeah,
like
I was literally
not even a
like
joke.
in a dungeon. We were doing Smileston for the first time, and there was a warrior. They were like, every other pull, Home Gang. Like, what the fuck, bro? How do you have it already?
It's on a 4-minute cooldown.
Yeah, it's I'm main healer now, right? Like I started off as a warrior main.
That's
then
cute.
I went over to exactly. That's exactly what I'm about to say, dude. I got so fucking bored, dude. I was running. Yeah, I literally before we started here and sat down, I was running a Vana Spotty as a white mage because I'm just leveling white mage right now. And garbage, by the way. Don't do it. It's fucking awful. It was really good in Shadowbringers, but Astro's better. Scholar's actually really good. And Sage hits like a goddamn bus. It's really good. For a healer, like whatever. But like white mage, yeah, they got shafted this tier. But anyway, I'm like running around.
In Prague. I'll say that.
No, Sage is absolutely going to be good in Prague.
Sage is absolutely cracked.
Like, dude, the healing a Sage can put out as a shield healer is on par.
I'm not disagreeing with that by any means. But like Sages really shine when you know the fucking fight. Like,
oh, absolutely. The oh shit, I call it an oh shit kit, right? Every healer has an oh shit kit. It's a series of buttons you press when it's like, oh man, I missed the GCD or no GCD. Someone's about to die, or someone did die. So I press these buttons in this order to make sure everyone's up and topped up and prepared for the next hit, right? Sages is really short, really strong in burst. But once you're out of resource, you're fucking useless.
That's what I mean, bro.
You have so many buttons, but when you run out of buttons, you're 100%. Like, I had to like
useless.
I'm not a healer main at all. Like I main tanks, so what I've always made, but I play the other classes, so I understand like what those classes are capable of doing. So I understand like how to best play with them. And I was leveling Sage, and I'll be real with you, I didn't understand half of its actual toolkit. Like in dungeons, just because my brain couldn't wrap itself around using AoE healing for mitigation because how much is tied to so many different things like Holos, the Caracoli, and like a bunch of the other skills or whatever that like you use. I literally sat down and just watched I'm not sure if you guys know FFXIV Momo. I watched his video on stage and I was like, this seems really weird, but I'm gonna try what you're saying and see how well it does. And night and day, like how much is tied to just like random things like this skill, tosses a regen on you, increases the amount of healing you get, so your regen ticks are higher, and then you can also toss a shield on top of it as well. And now, like all these things are AOE, and I'm thinking this isn't going to be that strong, and the tank is just taking no damage. And I'm like,
no, because you can literally make it so that way that's it.
This is what you're doing, right? This is the in between pull
bubble, bro.
Yeah, the in between pull, like for Sage, is like you make sure Eucrasian Prognosis is ready to go for your party.
Yeah.
And then smack them with a Caracol, then Eucrasian Prognosis. And then because your tank's going to keep getting hit, you want Adder Sting. So hit them with a Eucrasian Diagnosis so you can use that for mobility. You use Caracol whenever it's off cooldown. You don't have to worry about shit in a dungeon as a Sage. And if you have a warrior, go to sleep. Don't do anything. It's not even fucking worth it. Because that warrior can heal your teammates better than you can too, and it's garbage.
They really gave Warrior in AoE trash packs. I shit you not. They gave Warrior 3 benedictions every 25 seconds. I'm not sure why they thought that was okay. I don't know why they thought that was okay, but they gave Warrior 3 bennies every 25 seconds.
Man's got bloodwetting, and he could just live, dude. 1 AoE with bloodwetting active. Okay, yeah, I'm fine.
I use vengeance in AoE trash packs as damage. Like, it's there, but like I don't need it up because I'm healing for so much. Like, because of like just the actual, like, it's just toss it up every time it's up. Throw it up.
Yeah,
get mitigation out of it, but like it's so stupid. It's the
and in
only
stark contrast, Dark Knight's garbage now too. I hate healing a Dark Knight. I really do.
In dungeons, yeah, it's fucking awful.
I hate healing Dark Knight. It's like I saw the numbers, right? Because people put up vlogs of like Dark Knight versus Gunbreaker, Paladin, all that shit. And Paladin's doing the least amount of damage.
Oh, by far.
But Dark Knight's doing the most.
Yep.
So they're getting hit hella hard, but they're also doing a lot of damage. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to see Warrior or Gunbreaker with a Dark Knight for damage. And if anyone's looking for more like party sustain, they're going to bring a Paladin.
Oh,
I
100% disagree. As a tank, and this is coming from, I love to damage farm. All I want to do is damage farm. Damage
stat
farm
pad.
is my life. I want a stat pad so much. Dark Knight can kiss my ass. It feels so bad defensively. Like, when you live in a world that, what is it? Freaking Holy Sheltron, Heart of Corundum, and Bloodwetting exist, and your follow-up is TBN and maybe Oblation?
Yeah.
Oblation's nuts.
Yeah. People who know how to play tank are avoiding Dark Knight for the most part because like, they can't keep themselves. Dark Knight is the only tank right now that needs a healer.
Like, you can't, like, you legitimately cannot heal yourself up. You feel so used, like, doing a lot of damage is fun. Don't get me wrong. Like, your opening burst window is the coolest thing ever. Like, you can burst for like 11k damage and be the top of like your DPS pars for like a solid like 10, like 15, 20 seconds. It's great. But outside of that, like, yeah, TBN is still strong, but so like Heart of Corundum is damn near Nebula. Like, it's damn near your strongest cooldown, and it's on a 25-second cooldown, and on top of it, it gives you a free XCOG. I legitimately, like, I tossed a Heart of Corundum on myself, purposely used, what was it, Super Bolide, so that way like the actual heal would pop or whatever, and aurored myself in the middle of a trash pack, and I healed alone to like 60% of my HP.
Still disgusting.
That was, I think at most, that was like a Celine Embrace, like 1 or 2, and that was it. And I'm like, this is stupid. Like, I can heal myself back up from a Super Bolide because you're invulnerable for 10 seconds. You're not taking any damage.
Yeah.
Because they also made that 10 seconds, so that's fair.
Yeah, because the Gunbreaker is actually that fucking insane now. And then to compensate on the other side for Paladins, they just, everything they do in their rec window heals. See, like, if you're going to build up until you're using Confidier and you're going to go down the combo with Confidier, you can heal yourself with Holy Spirit, like all the way through. And if you have to resort to Clemency, you can use that. But Holy Sheltron also has a heal on it. So what are you doing? You're fine. Dark Knight though,
like, again, Oblation, oblate these nuts. Like,
oblate these nuts.
Like, I mean, when people look at Oblation, they're like, well, you could have just put it on TBN. I'm like, yeah, I'd have been afraid of TBN not popping. Like, it already doesn't pop in the first place.
Did you know? I don't know if this was a me thing, a server tick thing, or it was just an odd fucking occurrence. But I put a Eucrasian Diagnosis shield as a Sage on a Dark Knight, who then put TBN on top of that, and their TBN didn't pop when they took a Tank Buster.
Yeah.
My shield got eaten first, and I think it's because it's coded the same, right? Because with TBN, when it pops, you get the stack that you can then use on a free damage.
Yeah. Edge or Flood.
Eucrasian Diagnosis does the exact same thing for an Adder Sting.
Yep.
So I think they're coded the same, so their TBN doesn't have priority on the bar if I go first.
No, so actually, from what I remember, this was tested a while back.
What it is.
TBN has the lowest priority of shielding.
Yeah,
How does that make
stupid.
sense?
The
That doesn't
lowest
make
priority
sense.
of shielding.
How does that make sense?
If the shield does not fully break, TBN is not giving you you're not getting any resource back, and that's why it's trash. I'm sorry, 3K mana for a gamble on if it's gonna break or not. I don't care if it's 5 seconds. Like, it's a gamble, and on top of that, it's only damage neutral. It's stupid, and the reason I think it's dumb is because we already have stuff in the game itself that and I feel like we devolved into Dark Knight sucks. But
I mean, it does.
we have things in game currently that are if this doesn't get used all the way up, still get this effect at the end. I don't know why TBN doesn't work that. I don't know why if TBN fades, you don't just get your dark arts thing. Like, that wouldn't make TBN good. It would just make it acceptable. Like, it would make it okay. I don't understand. I don't get it in the slightest, and it boggles the mind.
Yeah.
And
It
I will
needs a
never
lot of help.
understand I will never understand Dark Knight stands. I won't.
Yeah.
Living Dead still trash, and TBN is now
It is.
sorta okay. It was good. It was strong. It still was dumb, but it was strong. Now it's sorta okay.
It just needs help, dude. If the Dark Knight could lose like 10 to 20 potency on a skill or two and then gain more sustain as a trade-off, more people would play it again.
Oh.
But right now it's basically my own in Shadowbringers, Dark Knight and Warriors were side grades of each other. And then why would you play Dark Knight if you could just play Warrior?
Yep.
Right now, it's like, why would you play
Dark Knight?
Dark Knight if you could literally play any of the other fucking tanks at this point? At this point, you're just choosing your kit. What's your play style? What do you want to do?
Yep. I could honestly I could fix Dark Knight in literally 2 changes primarily. Take Living Dead.
Good.
Well, Oblation. So I understand Oblation, the whole idea. So Dark Knight it's funny. It's the most versatile, non-versatile tank. You can throw things all over the place, but some cooldowns just don't work for certain things.
Right.
Dark Mind's stupid. I'm sorry. I don't care that it blocks magic, or that it reduces magic on a short cooldown, because everything works on stuff that reduces magic on a short cooldown. It doesn't matter. It's we have a bunch of cooldowns that are physical only, right? It's whatever, it doesn't matter. And on top of all of that, Living Dead still sucks. You could fix Living Dead so easily. Just make it so if you heal the full amount of Living Dead, it doesn't immediately go away. And make it so you have life leech while Living Dead is up. Make it so you can heal yourself while Living Dead is up. It would be so fantastic. Or just give what is it? What's the name of that effect? They moved it onto not Equilibrium. They moved it onto Thrill of Battle for Warrior. Convalescence, where you take more healing while the effect is up. All of those changes would be fine. And I mean, in my opinion, you could actually leave TBN being as horrible as it is if you did that to Living Dead. I would much rather you take TBN and just make it so you always get the stack off of it. That would be the bare minimum change. I think that'd be fine, but I don't get Dark Knight stands. I don't know why they don't want these things. But I feel like it's so much so much better.
I think Dark Knight stands do want Dark Knight to be better. They just don't know how.
Dude, it's just the phrases I have heard. TBN is like another Invuln. That I headbutt the ground on that one. That it pains me so. Pains.
Oh.
So now that we've taken a Final Fantasy tangent.
But nah, I think we got everything that we wanted to talk about today out of the way. It's a nice little pilot episode we got going on here.
Yeah. It's indicative of the chaos that will be brought.
Yeah.
It's what you can expect.
Yep.
Some days will be more focused than other, but as the title suggests,
we have no motive.
There's no motive.
There's absolutely no motive whatsoever.
Right now, we're looking at a bi-weekly schedule. Depending on in the future, it might turn into a weekly, depending on if we have enough people who enjoy it. But for the most part, you're gonna see all of our links down. If you guys are on YouTube, all the links are gonna be down in the description below. And if you guys are listening to this on Spotify or Apple, you guys can visit the YouTube channel for the links, because obviously I can't put links there. So,
well, just put links there anyways. It'll and be magical.
Yeah, just be magic.
Just I don't know. Look at now. Everyone's gonna watch it. Yeah, you'll find it.
Yeah, but yeah, I think this was a good. So thank you guys again for listening in. And I don't know. Do you guys have anything you want to say before we go?
Dark Knight's trash. Fucking.
Yo, is this one of those moments where
pizza's all right? Boba Tea's sick. I don't know, bro.
See, Slap didn't say anything incorrect right now. All of you guys who were upset about everything Slap just said, every single bit of it was fine. If you're one of those people that is like, pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, stop being a sheep. Someone just told you you're not supposed to like pineapple on pizza. You never actually tried it. Stop it.
I don't like it.
If you don't like it, that's fine. Everyone likes different stuff. It's totally cool. But like 90% of people like pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. You never even tried it. Shut up.
Because here's what happens with pineapple on pizza, bro. Right? You put pineapple on pizza, then you ruin the entire pizza. You can't just put pineapple on one slice.
Oh my god!
You can't just put pineapple on half a pie.
Here we go.
All right, dude. 2 weeks from now, the episode controversial food. Let's go.
Controversial food. Go to the next episode. Oh my god, let's go.
We're gonna talk about Final Fantasy 14, really shitty food combinations.
Talk about this Oreo and sour cream shit again. That was
my
supposed to be
god!
our original pilot.
One of my stream was talking about Oreos, right? But replacing the cream with salami. And apparently that's
what?
I don't fucking know, dude. But they did it.
An Oreo with no cream. All right, you guys like to end the episode. What's going on? Just we're done here. This is
yeah, I think that's it. But yo,
it's weird, man.
Yeah.
Thank you guys again for watching or listening, whichever, both, I guess, in this case. I'll see you guys. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Later.